Then I'll never give up. Give it all up first. Never be enough. I won't stop until I find my runaway love. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, boom. Hey. Boom, 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 boom. You see my baby on the road. Where she's going, I swear nobody knows. Something, 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 something. Na-na-na-na-na-na-na. Yeah, I'm just trying to be cool, cool, cool. My runaway love. Searching low and high, know that I'll never give up. Waiting for people to come so I can start talking. I won't stop until I find my runaway love. Burn, 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 burn. Burn, 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 burn. This is the dumbest avatar I've ever seen. Why can't I find you, love of mine, when you're standing in front of my face? Oh, I must be blind. How could I let you slip away? Anyway, guys, I'm sorry. I was singing before I turned this dumb thing on, but thought I'd just let you all know that if you hear a lot of noise, it's because I'm boiling eggs because I'm about to make a salad. And so I'm in the kitchen. And I wanted to tell you guys, I was going to do like a community post, but I am so not for community posts today. I was like, I'll just make a little live stream / video just to let y'all know what's going on. So I was supposed to be editing and finishing on a video that I was working on earlier this week. And unfortunately, I can't do that because I need a new charger. My old charger died on me, which means my computer can't charge. So I had to shut my computer off and wait for my charger to come. So I'm waiting for that. It'll come, I think, Sunday, tomorrow. And also, there was something else I was supposed to say. Well, I think that's about it. And I know that it is late. It is like around 3 o'clock, and literally nobody, will most likely show up to this thing. I'm just letting you guys know why. Don't mind this avatar. This avatar is kind of weird. I'm not going to use this one anymore. I don't like this avatar. Let's see. Can I change his emoji? Yeah, let me see. There we go. There we go. That's better. Let's see. There's this one, and then there's this one. Kind of looks like a vampire, but it's okay. Yeah, anyway, there we go. That's much better. So, yeah, I am waiting for that so that I can finish the video and have it out. So hopefully you guys are looking forward to that. It's my parody video on cultural appropriation in K-pop. I think you guys are going to enjoy it. And if you don't enjoy it, you're going to be very upset and triggered by it, and that's fine. I'm actually okay with it. I'm actually okay. For some odd reason, I'm okay with people being triggered. I guess it's because I've been doing this for 4 years and I just don't give a crap anymore. But yeah, either way, this is the weirdest avatar ever. I'm not doing this avatar anymore. This avatar alone is chasing people away. So yeah, I'm just waiting right now in the kitchen. My dog is outside just chilling. Oh, never mind. No, he's not. He's not chilling anymore. He's not chilling anymore, so he's running somewhere. God, why am I doing this down here? Just to wait for some stupid eggs to boil. I want to say this, actually. Let me be serious for a minute. Let me put on my serious face. Serious face. All right, here we go. Serious face. So, I should have changed this stupid avatar. Let me see. Can I change you? Can I change this avatar? Let me see. Yeah, I'll just go back. Should I go back to this guy? Here we go. I'll just just do this. I have the image. I don't need to import the image. Here we go. And let's just put you up a little bit. There we go. That's better. There we go. All right, so getting serious. I thought I was going to make a video talking about this, but I'm going to start it off with this live stream. And I do apologize. Yeah, that was the second thing I wanted to say. I meant to re-upload my last live stream so that everybody could watch it. But we kind of got into a conversation on a subject that I really didn't want to talk about because it was unrelated to K-pop and it was a bit too serious. So I was going to edit that out, but I accidentally edited everything out but that. I didn't know. See, this is why I don't like using the YouTube editor. This is why I don't like it. So I can't upload the live stream. I just decided to delete the whole thing. And I'm going to do another live stream trying to talk about the same points. But I wanted to make this live stream actually to talk to you guys about... oh, I didn't even realize you were there. Ninguk. Hey, or Gookverse, should I say. Let me be accurate. It's not Ninguk anymore. Hello. I am going to talk more about the cultural appropriation and K-pop thing this year. I'm definitely going to do it because I think it's time that I stop pussyfooting around the conversation and just start talking about it even more. So I'm going to do that this year. This year I'm going to tackle cultural appropriation a lot. And the reason why is because, as I said last year, I'm doing really good today. Today, I'm doing really good. The only thing that's going on that's wrong right now in my life is that my computer will not work because I don't have a charger. So I had to buy a charger, and it'll be here by Monday. No, sorry, tomorrow, Sunday. It'll be here Sunday, so I can't work on any videos until I get my charger. So there's that. Unfortunately. And the video that I'm working on happens to be a parody. It's a joke. It's a joke at the beginning, but then at the end of the video, I start getting down and dirty and serious. And it's about cultural appropriation in K-pop. I've already made what 2 videos already about cultural appropriation, I think. And one video, of course, I'm going to make YouTube shorts for both videos. I started making YouTube shorts for the first one I did that was like an hour long. I think it's time that I really start digging into this cultural appropriation thing, because I think that people are confused about what actually constitutes as cultural appropriation and what does not. And of course, it's based on personal preference or opinion. But I think there needs to be a clear, definitive understanding of what cultural appropriation actually is in K-pop and what it is not. It can't be that everything is off limits when it comes to black music and black this and black that. It can't be that everything's off limits. Because if that's what cultural appropriation is, then that's basically musical segregation. You know, black people do your things, white people do your things, Asians do your things, and no crossovers. Thus, you know, creating a musical segregation. Because if you actually have everybody just gleaming and you know, creating music, and it's not music that they created, it's not their genre that they created or established, but they're taking from each other and pulling inspiration from each other, then what you have then is desegregation of music. And, you know, that's not what we want, is it? That's not what we really want. We don't want to desegregate music. We want music to be all about the color of the people that made the music. We don't want it to be about, you know, music being a universal language that can just reach beyond the boundaries and the borders of race and culture and ethnicity and all these other things. So that's why I think it's time to have this conversation. And number two, I am serious because I think I cut myself off a while ago. Last year, I said I wanted to facilitate a conversation between Black K-pop stans and Korean K-pop stans to understand each other and to not, not to cause a problem or a fighting or anything. I think, you know what I think about cultural appropriation in music. Yes, I do. Today I organized a part of my room, my makeup, skincare, perfume, and a part of my book, so I'm happy. Well, that's good. It's good to take a day to take care of your room. It's always a good time to take care of your room, always. I'm glad your day was productive. But I think there needs to be a clear, like, what's the word that I'm looking for? An objective truth about cultural appropriation. Because everything can't be cultural appropriation. And devoid of context, and I've been saying this for a long time. Devoid of context, there can't be such oh, everything's cultural appropriation. Forget the context, it doesn't matter. If you're wearing the hairstyle or if you're wearing this piece of clothing or whatever, it's automatically disrespect, even though they're not like disrespecting you. And I've said this before, like a year or so ago. I said it in a video. There's no way you can tell me that a person who is not black, who's wearing like a black hairstyle or whatever, like you can't tell me that that's hurting you in any way. Like, are you telling me that you're taking medication now because these people are living rent-free in your head? Are you telling me that you can't sleep? You have to take melatonin pills or something? You have to drink what's that melatonin lavender tea? I think it's lavender tea. Lavender is supposed to help with melatonin. You're taking all of these supplements because you can't sleep at night because you've got white people and Asian people wearing certain hairstyles and stuff, living rent-free in your head. And it's bothering you. It's oppressing you. It's hurting you. I think that's a mental issue, personally. I think that's really a mental issue. And so you might need to seek help for that. I don't think that, you can sit there and be like, oh, cultural appropriation, you're hurting my culture, you're disrespecting us by simply wearing something. It's not about the wearing, it's about the act that you're doing while doing it. Kiss of Life, that was cultural appropriation. That right there was cultural appropriation. It's a perfect example. Chan from TO1, I think this is the group, taking his hat off and saying, I think he had a cowboy hat on. He threw the cowboy hat off, and you saw the do-rag or whatever. That was not cultural appropriation. Oh, because he was wearing the do-rag. Oh, and he said "yanega," which is not the N-word. It's me or I, and people just are ignorant of the Korean language, but. What's the coincidence that he throws his hat off and says that word, though? That word. He said that word and threw his hat off, and then there's the do-rag. And then you come to find out the guy's like, I wear a do-rag all the time. Like, I wear a do-rag even off the stage. When I'm playing ball with my friends or whatever, or when I'm just hanging out, I wear a do-rag all the time. And then so people are like, oh, my God, that's even worse. And I'm like, what? How? How is it worse? How is it worse? That's black owned. No, it's not. It's not black owned. It's his do-rag. He bought it. I assume he bought it. And that's like, okay, where'd he get the do-rag? Either they don't sell do-rags in Korea, which I don't think that's true. But either they don't sell do-rags in Korea, and he bought it all online from like an American store and he got it shipped to him, or he did buy it from a Korean store. then you're going to have to say, well, I condemn the Korean store that sells the do-rags because they shouldn't be selling it because it belongs to black people. There's so many different avenues you can go with that. You know, V wore do-rag, and apparently he was disrespecting black people by wearing the do-rag, which is dumb. That's still dumb to me. That will always be dumb to me. Always. Just because he wore it. It's about what you're doing, why you're wearing it. What are you doing wearing it? Like, what action are you partaking in? Like, what's the context behind wearing it? That's the thing that makes it wrong or right, not the simple act of them wearing it. I think, of course, a lot of people would disagree with me, and that's fine. But I think it's very harsh to condemn a group of people for simply wearing and saying that they're racist because they're simply wearing, not knowing who these people are and why they're wearing it. That's the danger. That's the problem, the lack of context. Why are you wearing it? Who are you and why are you wearing it? So, oh, well, I still need melatonin supplements. I can't sleep well. I can't sleep well. I've always had a problem with sleeping, which is not good. But yeah, I think this conversation needs to be fleshed out a little more. So this year, I'm going to take all of the time I want and need, and I'm going to work on talking about cultural appropriation in K-pop, because I think I've heard enough crazy arguments for it to last me an entire year, and I think I've had quite enough of the nonsensical arguments. I've had enough of it. Now apparently, you know, black music being used in K-pop and K-pop profiting off of it without giving black people credit is apparently cultural appropriation, when I did not know that there was a rule saying that K-pop, whoever comes out with this music in K-pop, they have to always say something about black people, which is just dumb. And now you're relegating black music down to skin color instead of it being a universal language. Music is a universal language that transcends the boundaries of all of these isms and ists and stuff. And now we're saying it doesn't. Now we have even subjugated music and dumbed it down to skin color, the skin color of the person who created the genre and made the beats and stuff. And I think that is, you can't police music like this. This is stupid. Plagiarism, I get. Plagiarism is by law a crime. You're not supposed to plagiarize people's music. You're not supposed to. That's the only stealing that is involved in music. Plagiarism. But you can't, there is no rule saying you have to credit black people every time you come out with a song that has some kind of hip hop or R&B beat to it, or a hip hop or R&B loop from the 90s. There's no such rule in plagiarism, because that's not plagiarism, especially if you got permission. And if there's black producers and songwriters that are writing and producing the songs for K-pop artists, how are they stealing the music? If there's black people voluntarily offering their services to help create the music that Koreans dance and sing to, that is the dumbest argument I've ever heard. Are Koreans holding these black folks at gunpoint saying, you better write this song, you better produce this music or else? No. They're doing it of their own free will because, guess what? Cha-ching. Money, 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 money. Money, 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 money. That's why they do it. It is not about blackness. They don't need to give credit to black people. Now, I do believe that people who create music in general don't get a lot of credit, and they should. I think that the people that produced the music, created the song, should get credit, regardless of their skin color. I think that everybody should get credit. I'm not one-sided. I don't think that, oh, blacks deserve more credit than white people. No, no, no. Everybody deserves equal credit for what they do. If you wrote a song, produced the music, you should get credit. Period. I'm not going to do this black thing. I'm sorry. Everybody who's black expects me as a black person to do that. I'm not. I'm not built that way. I don't do stuff like that. I don't roll like that at all. We got to push color out of the way and let music be what it's supposed to be. Universal language that speaks to everyone, even if it's music in a different language. The music itself is powerful enough to transcend and go past all of that stuff. Race, color, creed, ethnicity, language, all that. It's artistic expression that should not be demonized or viewed as wrong because of the skin color of the person that's adapting the music into their own style or whatever. Because you didn't give credit and you're profiting off of it. That's dumb. All these other black artists that use other music that other cultures created profit off of it. They don't give credit to white people. So why should white people and Asians and everybody else give credit to a bunch of black folk that created all those black genres when black people don't do the same thing? Again, I'm an equality guy. It doesn't make sense. Well, they can do that because they're black and they were oppressed for all that. Man, shut up. You're bringing up what happened like decades ago? Before my time? As a justification for why it's right for them and wrong for everybody else? No. To hell with that stupid narrative. It's dumb. So, yes, I will be getting into this cultural appropriation thing a lot more this year. People are not going to like me for it. I don't care. People might unsubscribe because they were like, whoa, I didn't know you were like that, Moonlight. I didn't know. Well, you should have watched my content from like a year or two ago. You would have found out very quickly what kind of person I am. I do not play this black mess. I'm sorry. I don't play that crap. I'm not that dude. Find another K-tuber that's willing to pander to, blackness and, oh, black people are so oppressed and black people are beat down and black people can't get ahead and white man keeping us down and all. Go somewhere else. I'm not about that. Wanna know why? Because no one is stopping me. No one is hindering me. No one is telling me what I can and cannot say on my channel. I'm not beholden to no white guy. I'm not beholden to anybody except the guidelines of YouTube on what I can and cannot say. I give two craps about who, I don't care. If I make music for a K-pop group, and I've said this before, and the K-pop group says, yeah, shout out to, Moonlight Antonio, who wrote and produced this song that became, #1 on the charts. By the way, I do want to emphasize that he is a person of color and he is black. I just want to make sure that everybody knows that because black people don't get a lot of credit. And I want to be, do you know how disrespectful that would feel for me? Now, that's disrespectful. I don't want you to highlight my color as if my color had anything to do with the production and the songwriting. My color had nothing to do with it. It's what's in my mind, what's in my heart. It's deeper than skin. My creativity, my ingenuity, my artistry, my ability to produce and create goes deeper than my skin and the pigment on it. Don't reduce it to just my skin. It's disrespectful. So that's how I feel. That's how I feel. And we shouldn't demonize a whole group of people in a whole nother country that we know nothing about just because some of them wear cornrows or dreads or box braids or whatever, and call them all cultural appropriating bigots who are racist towards black people and are parroting black people when the only way you can determine that is if they're blatantly actually parroting black people. And it's not like everybody is stupid. You can tell who's parroting black people and who is not. You can tell who is making sport and mocking black people and who's not. It's not hard to tell. But I understand that there's some people that are a little slower than others, perhaps, who may just can't catch on to what actually constitutes as mocking black people and what doesn't. And some people think that mocking black people is just other ethnicities simply wearing a hairstyle. So now I have to disabuse everyone of what they believe cultural appropriation to be and what it is actually. That's what I have to do. I don't have to do it. I don't have to do anything. But I want to, because I do care about people being told the truth. And yes, I do believe that I'm telling the truth on this, and that I'm not like, I know that what I'm saying is right. I could care less about the hair color, or I mean, sorry, not the hair color, but the hairstyle or the clothing. Like, oh, a white person's wearing a bunch of street clothes. Are they trying to disrespect people from the hood? You don't know who that white person is. They could have came from the goddamn hood for all you know. Why don't you go ask them? Don't just assume that they're being racist or they're trying to mock black folk in the hood. You don't know them. You don't know where they came from. You don't know how they came up. Yeah, they white. Who cares? Go ask them. Maybe they like the style of clothing because it just speaks to them in that way. They don't like wearing typical clothes like everybody else, and they like street clothes. Maybe that's what it is. It's a personal preference for clothing. Maybe that's what it is. Why don't you ask them instead of assuming that they're being racists and bigots? That's the whole point of conversation, is to gain perspective and understanding. Not to sit there and point fingers and say, you did this to my people, you should apologize to my entire ethnicity. You disrespected my entire ethnicity because you put on this and you put on that. And now you got these folk feeling like they done did something wrong when they didn't do anything wrong, except try to express themselves in the way they wanted to. Then when they say, well, no, I love black people. Like, I love black people and I love black hairstyles. That's why I wanted to, put a hairstyle in my head that was like that. Then you demonize them for that. It's like you can't let them breathe. You won't let them breathe. And it's not cultural appropriation. So, yeah. Well, if a black person uses trot inspiration in music, it wouldn't be a problem neither. Well, yeah, exactly. If a black person uses trot, something that black people didn't create, if a black person uses trot and that they're inspired by trot and they create something like that, that's not cultural appropriation. So why is it wrong for Asians to do that? It don't make sense. Also, K-pop use sounds inspired from music originally from Middle Eastern, yes, and North Africa. We never talk about cultural appropriation. I'm from North Africa. Yeah, they use all kinds of different music from all kinds of walks of life and different cultures and things like that. They adapt all of that stuff. They use Bollywood. Like I said, they use Bollywood music. They use, I think that's what you call it, Bollywood music, right? They use the foxtrot. They waltz, all those interesting kind of music. All of that stuff. They've used it. Latino, black music, Afro beats. Kai came out, his latest mini album rather, was what was it called? Was it Adult Swim or something like that? Where it's like Afro beats. Most of all the songs are Afro beats. I loved it. I loved his album. It was dope. I don't see a problem. They love like different cultures of music. Do you know how boring music would be if everybody just did their own thing? If every culture or ethnicity did their own kind of music and did not cross over and like branch out, do you know how boring that would be? So I'm so glad that K-pop evolved. J-pop also evolved. Why are we vilifying Korea and Japan and China and all these other Asian countries? Thailand. Why are we vilifying these people for adapting our music? That's a compliment to us. Shouldn't be an insult. Hey Moonlight, these K-pop groups better be careful next month. It's Black History Month. That was a joke, right? Bollywood is from India, yes. Music from the Middle Eastern and North Africa. I don't know how it's called in English. I'm not sure either, actually, how it's called in English. I actually don't know what Middle Eastern music is called in English, if there is even a name for it. That's funny. I just know if one small thing happens, everything will blow up. Iced Americano. Welcome. Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. If one small thing happens, everything will blow up. Yeah, I know. I know. They could say nega when they're singing, and people will get mad because they won't know that he said nega and not the other word, or something. And I'm not saying that Koreans don't mouth the N word. There's been instances where they have, but and I'm not trying to say that it's a slippery slope with that one, because yeah, it is the Koreans' fault for not being aware or just ignoring the N word. But at the same time, it's black people that keep putting this music out and then telling everybody else who's not black to walk on eggshells when they're listening to their favorite song from their favorite black rapper or black R&B singer or black whatever, who uses the N word in just about every piece of creative property that they create. It is incumbent upon all of the world to walk on the eggshells of black music. And if you don't, if you don't, you're in trouble. You don't. Yeah, like that's the rule. You're supposed to listen to our music and just mentally somehow block out every time the N word is said. And that's very hard to do. You know how hard that is. Why not just stop saying the word? Because it's so bad. And I've made enough videos talking about that, so I'm going to try my best not to go there again. I don't see the point in having to constantly repeat myself every year. I'm trying not to anyway. But yeah, I feel like Black History is approaching, so anything can happen. Anything can happen, and somebody's gonna say or do something. Black folks will get triggered again. Shoot, if a Korean says that they're attracted to a pale skinned Asian woman, then black folk can get mad about that. What you mean, pale skin? What's wrong with black folk? He didn't say black. He said he was attracted to pale skinned women. What's wrong with you? Are you insecure? Are you insecure? Are you okay? Are you okay? In French, we call it Oriental music, but I don't know it's the same meaning in English. Oriental? I'm not sure. I don't have my computer to access so at the moment, so I can't actually find out for sure. But Oriental, that sounds about right. I never knew what to call Middle Eastern music. I never knew what to call it. There we go. Pour that out. You get to hear the ASMR of me trying to make a salad. What are you barking at, kid? Just put this right here. There we go. There we are. But yeah, that's my goal, guys. That's my goal. That's my goal. I want to create an atmosphere where everybody can talk about cultural appropriation and where we can actually get some understanding as to what cultural appropriation is and what it is not. And we're not, of course, everyone's not going to agree. Even when I establish it, they're going to say that's not true. And so if I make videos like acting out what they claim it is, and they move the goalposts and say, well, that's not what I'm talking about, and they just keep like moving the goalposts further and further, I'm going to act out everything. And at the end of this whole experiment, if that's what happens, and they say, well, no, none of those examples that you just acted out is what we're talking about. I'm like, no, you literally said this, so I acted it out. And now you're saying that's not what it is, it's this. And this, so I act that out. And then you're like, no, that's not what we're saying. It's actually this. You're moving the goalpost. So basically the point is that nothing's off limits. Everything's cultural appropriation. Everything when it comes to black people. Everything. I can understand the religious aspects. I can understand the Islam thing. I can understand that. I can definitely understand it because it's a part of the Islam. It's a part of the religion. I can understand that. But what I can't understand is cultural appropriation, like religious appropriation. Sure. India, you can't have Ganeshka or whatever the Bodhisattva or whatever it is. I can't remember what it is. You can't have that illustration anywhere in a music video because you will get a lot of heat for it. One of the girl groups, and I can't remember what girl group it was, they did that they had an Indian god or whatever, and they had to take that out. So you couldn't do that. I get that. I'm not gonna sit here and try to like speak on that because it's just that's not something that I can speak on because it's not my religion. What I can do is speak about culture because I have a culture. Everybody has a culture. Some people don't have religion. Some people are atheists. Some people are agnostics, right? Some people are like, well, maybe and maybe not, right? Agnostics, they don't know what to believe. They're like, maybe it's possible. It could be, or maybe not. But everybody has a culture. And that's much, 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 I think, more prevalent than the religious aspects. So it's easier to tackle cultural appropriation. It used to actually be harder for me because I couldn't quite understand it. Because I felt like I couldn't have tackled this topic. I'll just put it this way. I couldn't have tackled this topic a year ago or 2 years ago, or even like the first year I started YouTube. I couldn't do it because I actually was not that ingrained in why people are calling this and that cultural appropriation. But now that I have more of an understanding of what people are saying is cultural appropriation, I can actually speak on it now with intellect. And I'm not saying I'm the brightest bulb, I'm not saying that I'm the brightest person ever, but I do have some kind of brain functionality up here in my noggin. and I'm going to use it to prove my point. I'm not going to sit here and appeal to emotion. I'm not going to sit here and appeal to feelings. I'm going to just speak to the truth of what the problem is with people's perception, warped perception of what cultural appropriation is. So that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. So, yeah. Everybody's in for a ride. I'm going to, of course, try to put fun K-pop analysis videos in the mix so that it's a healthy balance. I'm going to try. I'm already working on O News, O Circle. I'm working on that. I was actually working on that before I got back into the cultural appropriation thing because I felt a passion, a burning passion to like make another video. Those who believe in the existence of God but don't have a religion. Yeah, that's true. Yes, there are those who actually believe in God, but they don't have a religion. So they're like, I believe in God, or you could call them the universe, or they don't know what to call it. They don't know what. I'm not sure what to call those kinds of people. I don't know what they call themselves, but I guess they're like universalists or something. They believe in the universe. They believe in vibrations. There's a word for it. I can't think of it off the top of my head. New Age or something like that. Yeah, New Age, New Thought, something like that. As for dreadlocks, I understand those who call it cultural appropriation because because back then when blacks used back in the days, they were mocked, but when non-blacks used, but nobody's getting mocked now. That was back in the day. See, that's my issue though with that, is that the grievance and the pain of the past is what black people hold on to validate its cultural appropriation narrative. And I think that's a falsehood. So I reject that premise that because of the past, people who are not black should not wear dreadlocks and stuff. Again, there was a black girl, I'm pretty sure it was a black chick who commented under a video I did, and they were basically like telling me, how dare you, paraphrasing, how dare you, like, I guess, speak about cornrows as if it's just some old regular hairstyle from another culture. Cornrows has a higher, like, historical value than any other hairstyle that I could ever talk about. And, it's very disrespectful to speak about cornrows in such a way that, you're comparing it to every other hairstyle. First of all, that's kind of like hair worship to say that it's because it has a higher historicity than every other hairstyle, and so it should be treated with the reverence and respect that you feel it deserves. That's idol worship. That's idolatry. First of all, hair idolatry. That's number one. Secondly, she was making a point that because of black people, Africans, of course, wearing cornrows, it has some special significance to where it just can't be touched. You can't use the hairstyle if you're not black, and you don't understand, the cornrow stuff, blah, 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 blah. So she was basically trying to make an argument for why cornrows and black hair in general has this hierarchy of hair history or whatever. And I was just like, oh, so this is your justification for why other ethnicities can't use it. So I said, do you know the history of cornrows? Do you know what the history of cornrows is? And of course, I went and told her what the history of cornrows was and why Africans use it. They used it, for those who were not in that conversation or are new to my channel, and you don't know the history, I'll tell you really briefly. The history of cornrows goes all the way back to the transatlantic slave trade, where Africans would weave their hair in a way where they could hide food on a ship. They put nuts and little berries and things like that in their hair because they would starve otherwise. They weren't fed on those ships to America. They weren't fed. So they would weave their hair in a way that would hide certain things that they could eat. That was one way in which cornrows were used for survival. Another way in which they were used was people would weave. Well, it's mainly women. It wasn't men that wore their hair like that. It was primarily women that wore cornrows. It became a unisex thing later on, but it was actually women that wore cornrows, not men. So what would happen is the women would weave their hair in a way where you could see the road that leads to freedom. You could see they would weave those secret passageways and things like that. This is actual history, guys. They would weave their hair in like secret passageway in a way where you could see like where is the road to freedom and things like that. You could actually find where you're going if you were trying to escape and go to freedom, right? That was another way they used their hair, the cornrows, for survival. And my question to her was, do we wear cornrows for that reason in today's time? And if the answer is no, which it should be, how can you say that because of the past and history that other people are not allowed to wear the hair like that when we blacks don't even wear our hair for those reasons? You can't oppress a group of people and tell them they can't wear a certain hairstyle just because, you know, the history we were shamed for wearing but now it's okay when like Kim Kardashian, which I don't give two craps about Kim freaking Kardashian. I don't give a crap about any of those people. But when other people who are not black wearing our hairstyles and they're like, oh, it's more accepted when they wear it, but it's not. It was more accepted. It's not that way now. Everybody can wear their hair in whatever way they want, unless your job requires that you can't. Unless your job requires that you look like you are a little more decent and they require a more kempt look, and you want to keep that job because it's a high-paying job, well, you're going to have to cut your locks off. It's not anything against black hair or black hairstyles. It's just they want you to look more presentable as a representative of their company. That's all. It's not a racial attack. But some black folk view it as a racial attack because they just do. Well, it's a white person that's telling me to do this. If it was a black boss telling you to do this, what are you going to do? How are you going to spin the narrative then? How are you going to say they're racist against black people because they wouldn't let he's black or she's black? The leader of your company is black. So how are you going to spin that into a racial thing? According to ChatGPT, a person who believes in God without religion is a deist. Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, that sounds about right. So yeah, it always gets to me when I see that people are like, oh, you know, we was trying to wear our hair like that back in the day and we couldn't, that we were kicked out of a place because yes, black people were kicked out of certain places because of their hair and things like that, and it was probably a predominantly white restaurant or whatever the case. That's not happening now. And if it is happening, it's because there are racists that are running it. It's not because of whatever other reason. It's not that every white business will do that to you. It's just that there are certain people that don't want black folks in their space. That's all it is. So we got to distinguish between what is racism and what is not racism, what's just like common sense. Cut your hair so that you can look presentable for the company that you are representing and getting a paycheck to represent. period. You could be a good worker. They're not speaking to your good working skills. They're not speaking to your, your ability to actually do your job efficiently. They're just speaking to your hair. Now, if there's no rule for that in a company, then you're fine. But some companies have those rules, and if you want to keep the job, then you have to cut your hair. I get it. You grew your hair out and you wanted the locks, but if you want to keep your job, just cut your hair. Don't give the boss a hard time. Just cut your hair. Just be a decent citizen and a decent person who works at a company. Just cut your hair. And if you don't want to cut your hair, you can quit. That's it. That's all you got to do. It's not hard. Don't go out there and start trying to, virtue signal and say, oh, they discriminated against me because of my hair. No. There's a rule that everybody knows when you get into that company. You have to make sure you look presentable. Okay? Like, do y'all know there are white people that also wear, like the white version of dreads? They would probably tell them to cut that crap off too and get a decent haircut that looks presentable for the company you're representing. That goes for everybody. So not everything it's a racist issue. We make it a racist issue sometimes. And I'm not discounting that there are racial issues that occur, but not every issue where a white boss is telling a black employee, you gotta look presentable, is not always a racial issue. And that's just facts. That's not me trying to downplay racial discrimination. That's just freaking facts. It's just facts. So I'm just trying to be honest, And again, this is something that a lot of people don't want to hear. They don't want to hear it, black folks particularly, because it defeats the narrative of, oh, we always got to do something. We always got to look a certain way for white folk. We always got to no, it's not about white. Sometimes it's not about white or black. Sometimes this is just about looking presentable. What's right as opposed to what's, whatever you want. If you want to look the way you want to look, go work at Burger King or go work at some restaurant, fast food restaurant, where they don't care about, you having dreads or box braids or whatever you wearing. Go work there where you don't have to handle food. Go work there. Don't work for a Fortune 500 company that wants you to look presentable. And I'm not saying that every Fortune 500 company will demand of their employees to change their hair, but some of them do. And in those cases, what will you do? Will you say it's cultural? You're being discriminatory against black people because you won't let me wear my hair? Every time someone tells you, hey, you need to cut your hair because you need to look more presentable, because that's the rule. You gotta. She could wear dreads and work even when she was in the French. She couldn't wear dreads and work even when she was in the French islands, where the majority of the population is black. So, like I said, there's some instances where, you just can't wear those hairstyles. It's not discriminating against you as a person. It's just, we don't want you to wear that hairstyle. And if, I'm getting paid, I'm not going to sit here and argue. I might feel down about it. I might be like, oh, crap. I really hate that I have to get rid of my dreads. But at the end of the day, it kind of reminds me of, what was that? Drumline, Nick Cannon. He had those cornrows. And one of the rules of being in the band was that, or at least on the drum line, was that you're going to look like everybody else, right? You're going to look like everybody else. Everybody's going to shave their hair. They didn't shave them bald. They just gave them a nice, gave them a nice haircut, right? So he undid all of his, cornrows, and he had this big old afro. And they was like, okay, he about to get his haircut because, look, I'm a part of a team now. I'm not just representing myself. I'm representing the drum line. I'm representing the band. So to become one and to assimilate with the band, to become integrated in the band, he cut his hair. He dropped his pride and cut his hair. And I kind of feel like that's the way that a lot of things are in life. Sometimes you just got to do what's best for not just yourself, but your crew, who you're working with, who you're working for, the company, or whatever the case. Doesn't matter what it is. Sometimes you just got to make sacrifices and changes. You're not gonna die. You just make some certain changes. And I think Drumline was probably the perfect example that I could give for that. Devin Miles. If you haven't seen Drumline, definitely watch Drumline. It's great. Oh my God, Pachi, please shut up. All right. Anyway, didn't want this live to be that long anyway, so I think I will end the video or the live stream rather. I think I'll end it here for now, and skedaddle, be on my way, make my salad, and I'm going to work on some scripts for my videos coming up, because I have a lot of things planned and I just need some time, and yeah, I got to get my mind right. So I will leave you guys now. Thank you guys for coming. Thank you, Ninguk, and thank you, Ice Americano. And yes, thank you for making me laugh, Ice Americano. That was good. That was good right there. Okay, that was good. I needed that laugh today. I needed it. Thank you guys. I'll see you guys in the next one. We will talk more about cultural appropriation in K-pop in the months to come. So rest assured, we have a lot of things to talk about. All right. Love y'all. See you. Bye.